Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our weekly meetings dedicated to NMT preparation. So hello, everybody. I would like to see your hi's in the comments. So say hello. You may again introduce yourselves, especially if you're new here, and I will do the same. So my name is Lilia, and I will be meeting with you for the next weeks, preparing you to the following exam. So I think we can get started. All right. I can see many comments there, so keep adding them. And let's begin. So today we have lesson 2, and it's the second topic. All lesson will be dedicated to grammar. So we are going to speak about present tenses, all of them. And also we're going to practice some really useful use of English tips. So I think we can get started. All right. So first of all, let's check what are present tenses. So how many of them do we have? Who remembers? Who can tell me? Please in the comments. Okay, so there are 4 tenses, of course, and here they are. So who can guess what tense it is? By the way, the sentence is true about me. So I've been teaching English for 9 years. So what tense is that? All right. Yeah, that is correct. That is present perfect continuous. Good job. All right, so let's keep moving. And now you're gonna tell me what tense this is. So please, in your comments. Okay, so that is present perfect. Now, we have webinars every Friday, which is true, by the way. So what could it be? Who can tell me? Of course, that is present simple, right? And one more here. We are discussing present tenses today. So what is that? Present continuous, obviously. Right. So there are 4 tenses when it comes to present. And today we are going to discuss all the differences, all the nuances of using them. So let's get started. And first of all, let's focus on present simple use. So here are the rules when we actually need present simple. First of all, it's for repeated actions or some typical habits. For example, I always drink coffee for breakfast. Or vice versa, I never drink coffee for breakfast. That's also a habit, maybe a healthy one. Or here, John pays his bills every month. So again, it's a regular action repeated month by month. So typically. Also, we use present simple for some general truths or facts that exist no matter what time we mention. Like here, sun rises in the east. No matter what part of the world we are in, it's always like that. It's always in the east. Or doctors help people. Again, general fact about this profession. He lives in New York. Again, if it's not his travel there, but a typical thing for this person, we use present simple. And also, we use it with stative verbs. For example, if they express some emotions, we cannot say I'm hating. We usually say I hate or I love something. For example, she likes sushi. Can we say she is liking sushi? No, we cannot. It would be incorrect. Or, for example, different mind processes. So, things that we do with our brain. For example, verbs like know, remember, think, understand. We cannot use them in continuous. So, you cannot say, I'm knowing present simple rules. You know them because it's not only right now, it's always true about your mind, right? And again, oh, I'm remembering it. I remember it, always. Be careful with the verb think, because here we have two possible options. I think, я вважаю, only in simple, when express your opinion. For example, I think you are right, or I think you are wrong. But if you say something like, wait, I'm thinking, like я розмірковую, я вирішую, I'm trying to choose the option, then you can use it in continuous. So here, again, two options are possible with the word think. I think he needs some help. Is it я розмірковую or я вважаю? What do you think? Write in the comments. Okay, yeah, that's я вважаю. But I'm thinking how to help him. Я думаю, я вирішую, я розмірковую, як допомогти йому, would be possible in continuous. And also stative verbs are verbs of senses. So when you feel something, or when you hear something, or you can see something, it's typically present simple, with some exceptions. But if you mean the sense itself, like I see everything around me, that would be present simple. I hear some sounds, again, present simple. I feel, I don't know, cold, for example, or heat, that would be present simple. So I hear some noise, but I don't see anything, is a good example. And also, there are more rules of using present simple, which are not that commonly known. So, schedules and timetables. Even when something happens in the future, but it happens according to some schedule, we would use present simple. Like, the train leaves in 5 or 15 minutes. Hurry up. How do we know that it's present simple? Because day to day, the train leaves at the same exact time. That's why we can express it using present simple. Or, for example, the lesson starts at 4 p.m. tomorrow. So again, it's the typical time for the lesson. Our lesson starts at 6 p.m. every Friday. And next Friday, it also starts. Not will start, but starts, because it's according to the schedule. Also, we can use it to express some jokes or maybe retell a story of some film or a book. So here it's a tricky thing. When you write a story, typically you use past tenses for that. But when you retell it, for the listener, the events didn't happen in the past. They are revealing in front of them now. But for you, it's already in the past. So to find some balance, you can just use present simple and it would be all right. For example, in this book, the hero saves the princess and marries her. Or there is an example of some joke. And also we can use present simple for newspaper headlines, especially to grab readers' attention. Like here, exit poll shows incredible results of the election. So maybe it happened in the past, like the result is already known, but we use present simple because it's a newspaper. So now let's practice. Here you have 6 different sentences. Each of them represents some particular rule. You need to think and write down in the comments what rule it is about. So, number 1, any of your ideas? So, in the comments, please. All right. So if it rains a lot, it's some general truth, typical action. All right, what about number 2? The bus leaves every 15 minutes. What rule is that? Who remembers? Again, any of your ideas? All right, so it lives in the future, but still we show it in present, so that's schedule or timetable, right? Anna catches a bus to school every day. So any ideas what it is? So number 3. Regular action, right. So it's all about routines. Thank you, guys. All right, then number 4. We want a new car. What is that? So number 4, please. We want a new car. Yeah, it's some wish, that's for sure. So it's all about activities of the mind. I need something, I want something. That would be the same as I know and I understand. It's all about present simple stative verbs. We can never say I am wanting, we only say I want. So it's one of the stative verbs. Okay, so I spoiled the next one, but I think it would be easy to guess. So, for example, Alona and Jerry Hale win Eurovision in Ukraine. So, that's a headline, well-known information, right? Okay, and I already can see number 6. Yeah, that's the plot, probably of a movie, maybe of a book, but that's the story we retell. Good job. So now you know the rules. Well done there. Let's keep moving. So I hope this page is too easy for you, but still I need to focus on it. So we speak about the structure. In present simple, we need to be very careful because there are 2 types of the sentences. So first is the sentence with to be in it and with any other verb. So if it is with to be, you do not need anything else. If you have any other verb, you don't need to be, and so on. So if you say something like я учень, what would you say? Can you say I do a student? Of course not. So you should say I am a student. Are you a student? I am not a student, and stuff like that. But if there is any other verb, you use it with do, does, of course. Okay. So if you want, you can check it later. Now let's move on to some more interesting details. So here we have some spelling rules. I'm pretty sure you know them, but just in case, let's check. So most of the verbs just add s if it's third person singular. I mean after he, she, right? But if the verb ends with double s or sounds sh, ch, x, o, we add is ending, like finish, he finishes, teach, she teaches, fix, he fixes, go, she goes. All right. And if there is consonant, приголосна, and then y, we change that y for I, adding is ending, like cry, cries, and stuff like that. So let's try. What do you change? How do you change the verb cry? Again, in the comments, please. So she or he. Cries, of course, with I is. To wash, then she. Number 2. She washes with is ending, correct? Enjoy. What about enjoy? Again, your comments? Enjoys. So, should we change Y for I here? No, we shouldn't, because it is followed. Okay, so we have the vowel first, and then it's followed by Y. If we have a consonant, приголосний, before Y, then we change it for I. If not, no changes. Okay, go, goes. I think that's something you know from the elementary school. Try. Any ideas about try? All right, so what about try? Tries. Yes, with is. Then watch, watches. Too easy. Do, does. And pass, passes. Okay, so I'm pretty confident that this was super easy. Let's keep moving. So now we have present continuous, and again, all the possible ways of using it. So let's get started. In present continuous, first of all, obviously, we describe things that are happening right now as we speak. So I am speaking to you right now, you are typing in the chat right now, you are listening to me right now, and stuff like that. So everything that is happening at the moment. She's running a marathon now. We are learning present tenses now. Number 2, actions happening around the time when we speak. Like here, they are studying French this term. So, are they studying French this very moment? Maybe no, maybe they relax, it depends. But they study it this term. So we have some temporary action with clear beginning, like the beginning of the term, clear ending, the end of the term, right? And in between those points, the action is in progress. But maybe with some pauses, because of course we need to live apart from learning, right? Okay. So also we can use present continuous to express some changes. So when you notice something developing, growing, or vice versa, decreasing, falling down, and so on, that would be not simple, but continuous. So for example, people use internet a lot. Present simple, it's just a fact. But people are using more and more internet resources every day. We see clear change, so we use it in continuous. Just remember, if it can be represented like some graph, hello to those who take an exam in math, we use present continuous. Also, there are some more rules, and this one is a bit tricky. So, if there is something annoying or irritating, we can use present continuous in the same place where you would typically use present simple. For example, he always speaks loudly. And I'm fine with it. But he is always speaking loudly. Like, oh my god, I hate it. So if you want to give some emotional highlight to some present simple action, you can use it in present continuous to show some annoyance or irritation. You're always singing too loud while in the car. Like, I hate it. But if I enjoy it, I would say you always sing too loud. Present simple there. Okay, there is one more rule here. So, some fixed arrangements for the future. I don't know why they are mixed. Maybe I mixed something in my head. So, for example, we are meeting at 5 p.m. at the Chinese restaurant. Are we meeting like right now or not? What do you think? If I say we are meeting, when is it happening? So no, it's not now. It's some plan for the future, of course. But as it is agreed, both persons know about the meeting, I can present it this way. For example, about my personal plans, I am meeting my friends after this webinar because it's Friday and they are in town, so I want to see them. What about your plans? You can also present them in the chat. So what are you doing after the lesson? Use present continuous to say it. And meanwhile, you can have a look at some time markers of present continuous. So it can be something obvious, like at the moment, now, today, but also it can be some very big period of time. For example, this year, or even this decade, or even this century, if we speak about like really huge processes. For example, this century, we are experiencing very hot temperatures, which is not typical for the previous century. So it's something different to what we have usually. So just remember, if present continuous affects something which we have not always, but during some period of time which is limited, even if it's too long, it can still be that. Okay, I'm learning Ukrainian history after this webinar. I'm reading a book after a webinar. Nice plans, guys. So good luck with that, but don't forget to have some rest. It's Friday afterwards, after all. Okay, so here, again, we try to check ourselves. So you can see 4 sentences which represent 4 different rules. Try to guess what they are. So number 1, TikTok is evolving and capturing the interest of both brands and celebrities. What is that? Okay, I'm going to wash dishes. Not the best activity for the evening, but why not? Why not? Okay. So, should I translate the first sentence? TikTok розвивається, evolving, like evolution, right? And capture, like захоплює, the interest of both, обох, brands, бренди, and celebrities, like famous people. So, did I help you, Mihaila? I hope so. And what rule is it? Okay, someone is saying graph. That's good that you have visual memory, but that's the rule about something. It's not right now. Like, it's evolving for many, many years. Come on, TikTok exists for like, well, you tell better. I don't know. It's about changes, right? So, current changes. We know that TikTok appeared many years ago, and probably it will exist, but it is evolving, розвивається, еволюціонує, right? Year by year, like adding some new features and so on and so on. Okay, I'm leaving at 3. That's a fixed arrangement, agreement for the future. What about number 3? She's constantly missing the train. What could it be? Any of your ideas? So, she's constantly missing the train. Sounds like present simple to me. So you can see the answer of number 2, fixed arrangements, but not number 3. I didn't spoil that. So, number 3, she's constantly missing the train. What rule is that? Constantly, like постійно, so it's not closest future. What is that? Okay, guys, so I'm happy you have fun. Постійно. She's constantly missing the train. Вона постійно спізнюється на потяг. It's annoying, of course. So if I am the person to wait for this girl, I would be annoyed by that, you know? So yeah, that is irritating, repeated behavior. All right. And number 4, students are preparing to NMT these days. So what rule is that? Again, your ideas in the comments. Let's do it. Is it about right now? Well, not in our case, but speaking in general about all the students. Yeah, so not right now, but what rule is it? Things happening around now, around the time when we speak. So, yeah, like it happens probably this term or this year if we take 11th grade, right? But it's not typical action for you. So, for example, you got interested in the test and preparing to it probably starting September or maybe even later, right? So it's not necessarily this moment, but around now, like some temporary action. You are preparing to it, but after May, probably you will forget about it for good, right? So here we have the form. I won't focus on this slide. So if you have troubles remembering the structure of present continuous, you can take a screenshot. Just remember that we cannot use present continuous without ing and without to be. So it's always am, is, are, and ing ending of the verb. Please, a screenshot if needed. And we keep moving. SP with a question mark, it's a special question. Starting with why, what, where, when, and so on. So, again, some rules of spelling it. If we have some verb ending ie, we change it for y, vice versa, opposite to what we did in present simple, and then add ing ending. If we have just e in the end, we omit, пропускаємо this letter. And if we have double e, we don't skip it, we leave it where it is and just add ing. So let's try making those sounds, those words. Lie. How to say that he is lying? So in the comments, please, how to say he's lying? Spell the word lying, please. Okay, let's check you. Yep, that's right. What about give? Again, try to spell it. Still waiting for your comments. So what about give? Giving. So we omit, пропускаємо letter E. Good. Okay, what about agree? Again, really briefly. So agree. I'm still waiting. Agreeing. So no changes in the word, we just add ing ending. Okay, what about the word shop? How would you change it? Shop. Again, let's try to write shopping. Good. Oh, no, not good. guys, be very careful, double P. So, just remember the rule. When we have one vowel, один короткий голосний, and after it one consonant, один приголосний. Слово закінчується на короткий голосний, після нього лише один приголосний. Цей приголосний подвоюється. So we have shopping with double P. Okay, good. What about travel? Should be obvious. Please, hurry up. Traveling. Okay, I can see two different options. So here's the thing. Typically, we use double L when it comes to British spelling and could be one L if it's American spelling. But we double it because we stick to British English. Okay, and forget. What do you think? What do you do with the word forget? Forgetting with double T again. So one short vowel and then one consonant means doubling that consonant, подвоєння цього приголосного. Good job here. So, ta-da! I really like this slide because it may confuse even advanced users. So, lie. There are two verbs which have the same spelling but different meanings. So when we say lie, it could be rather to say something which is not true, брехати, обманювати, to lie, don't lie to me, yeah? Or it could be lie, like лягти, лежати, and so on. So to stay in horizontal position. And they change differently. So the second form of lie, which is брехати, would be regular, so we add ed ending. He lied to me yesterday. He has just lied to me in the third form. And lying would be with ing, changing I for y. Then, when it comes to the word that means лежати, here it is irregular. Hello. So we don't say ed, we change it for lay, and the third form laying. So I lay on my bed yesterday. But lying would be just the same. I like lying in my bed, especially on weekends. And we have the verb lay, which first form is absolutely the same as the second form of the word lie, but it has a bit different meaning. It would be rather to put or set something down, like накривати на стіл, for example. We lay the table, remember from school? And it is also irregular, so it changes as laid, laid. I laid the table in the morning, or I has laid the table, it is ready to have dinner. So again, if needed, you may take a screenshot and memorize it later, because I know it might be a bit tricky. Okay, let's keep moving. So we already mentioned state or stative, sometimes verbs, and now I want to focus on the difference between them and dynamic verbs. So state verbs, they do not mean any action. They describe some state. For example, I know something. Do I do any action to know? I just have some knowledge in my head, that's it. Or I like something. Do I do any active movements in order to like? Again, no, I just express my preferences. So, they describe states, not actions. They are not used in present continuous, meaning we cannot add ing form to them. We don't say I'm liking, I'm knowing, forget about that. And even if something is happening right now, we still cannot use continuous. Like, do you understand what I say right now? Still simple. Or I don't believe you right now, but still simple. And dynamic verbs, they describe action. So you can really imagine some movement, some doing, and so on. And then they can be used in both tenses, present simple, present continuous. Like, I typically watch TV or YouTube, and now I am watching. So we can add ing to active or dynamic verbs. And as I already mentioned about the verb think, it can be used in both. I think, я вважаю. I am thinking, я розмірковую, роздумовую. Okay, so the presentation will be added today after the webinar. Okay, I'll try to upload it as soon as possible. Thank you for asking, Daria. So here we have a list of stative verbs. Of course, not all of them, because the list is much bigger, but at least the most important ones. So you can check the categories like preferences, вподобання. All the verbs here mean some of our likes or dislikes. For example, the ones that we were speaking about at the previous lesson, yeah? I adore, обожнюю, I appreciate, ціную, or I prefer, надаю перевагу. Envy, like заздрю. Need, потребую. Also, it's all about mental states. So if you have any questions, you can ask me, like the word and the question mark, I'll translate it. Maybe doubt, сумніватися, recognize, like впізнавати, розпізнавати, recall, пригадувати, guess, вгадувати. Also, we have some possessions, like have, belong, слова, що виражають володіння чимось або приналежність до чогось. For example, I have a cat, meaning I am the owner of this animal. Or this cat belongs to me. So I don't say it is belonging, it belongs, like always. Or I possess this property, я володію цією власністю. The same as own, I own this car, я володію автомобілем. Or this car belongs to me. And also it could be like want or need words. So thank you for asking about McDonald's. We all know that their logo is I'm loving it, but that's more like exception or the show of extreme love. But that's more like the level of advanced English, which is not the part of NMT. So you can forget about that and just try not to use stative verbs in continuous there. Because again, like even if such rules exist, they are of a higher level than NMT includes, luckily. And we have some other verbs, but most of them are about some measurements, like weigh, важити, contain, містити. For example, this jar, like банка, contains a lot of food or whatever. Or this category contains a lot of words. Містить багато слів. Okay, thank you for translation, guys. So, again, you can check the verbs here, or you can do it in a more funny way. So here, as you scan the QR code, you will get the link for Quizlet, where I collected all the stative verbs that you might need, and you can learn them from there. Also, the link is pinned in our chat, so you can look at the message, which is pinned in the comments for Quizlet, and open the link right now, or better, even after the lesson. The link will be still there, so no worries. And we continue. So now I would like to focus on the verb have, because it's a bit special. Tell me, please, can I say I'm having a cat? Yes or no? Of course not. What about I'm having a picnic? So, about picnic, actually, that's all right. So, what's the difference? What's the difference between having a cat and having a picnic? Well, when you have a cat, you don't do anything to have it. It just lives in your apartment, probably, right? But about I'm having a picnic, it's like I'm spending some time outdoors with my friends or family. So it's active verb, like I am talking, eating, having fun, whatsoever. So if you can replace the verb have in some word combination with some other word, then it's probably, it can be used in continuous. For example, I'm having a shower. It's like I'm washing my body, right? Or I'm having a lunch. I'm eating. Or I'm having fun, like I'm enjoying the time. So if, again, you can replace have with something else, with some active verb, then you can use it in continuous. So now it's time to practice. Here we've got 10 sentences left, where you have to open the brackets deciding whether you should use it in continuous or in simple. So let's agree to do as at the previous webinar. When you write your answers, please mention the number. So you put 2 and then the form, 3 and then the form. Будь ласка, при своїх відповідях вказуємо номер слова, яке ми вписуємо. Okay, so let's get started. A middle-aged man is holding a little girl who, what form should we use? Who hates, who doesn't want to go in the water. I guess she hates, good job. So let me open them. She hates water, and that's why she, number 4, she is crying, active verb, so we can use it in continuous. 2 other boys are building, good, a sandcastle on the beach. Okay, let's keep moving. There are only 2 people in the other picture, and they are both at the sea. I can see a teenage boy who who is wearing, like одягнений or носить активно in English, red trunks and a swimming cap. The boy, so he is wearing, активно носить на собі одяг. So in English, it can be used in continuous. So number 7, the boy is playing with the dog, yeah, right? And they both, number 8, seem, здаються, stative verb, no continuous, very happy. In the distance, I can see one more person, probably a man. He is swimming, of course, active verb. I think or am thinking, number 10. I think, я вважаю, я гадаю, all the people in the 2 pictures are on holiday and they have or are having. What about number 11? They are having a good time. Yeah, like проводять час actively. So it's not a stative verb in this case. Okay, very good. So I think we managed to deal with active and stative verbs, and that means we can keep moving to even more complicated tenses, which are present perfect and present perfect continuous. So look at this girl. Where is she? I think in the gym. So what do you think? What has she been doing in order to look like that, really tired? Any ideas? You can type again your ideas in the chat. So what has she been doing? She is sleeping right now, like in continuous, but what was happening to her before? The most complicated word that I know. Let me think. Discombobulated. I'm not sure if it's the most complicated, but it's the funniest among complicated ones. Okay, so she working hard, but how to say it in the correct tense? She has been training, she has been working out, she has been working hard, she has been exercising, anything like that. And we mention it in continuous, in present perfect continuous, because we don't have the result, clear result, looking at the picture. Like, do you see her muscles? Or do you see her increased in strength? I don't. I just see a tired girl, right? But we know that in order to feel tired, you should spend some significant amount of time exercising. So present perfect continuous, it never shows the result. It focuses on the duration of some action, and sometimes it shows what result, not result, but side effect it led to. So she is tired right now because she has been exercising. Or the roads are wet because it has been raining. Or, for example, my mom's hands were in dirt because she has been working in the garden. So I don't know what results she achieved there, but I know that she spent there some time before she came back. Now, let's try to think what actually could be the results that this girl achieved. Again, any sentences, this time possible in present perfect simple, or just present perfect. So what could it be? What has she achieved? I can show you some pictures to help. So any of your ideas? No, she's not. It's not like she has trained. She has been training, вона тренувалася during some time, right? And now she's tired. But what was the achievement? She has gained or she has lost some weight depending on the aim of her training. So in our case, she has lost 2 kilos this month. So now it's not about time. It's about some real numbers, real results, like minus 2 kilos. What an achievement, come on. Or she has lost 6 kilos, oh my god, since spring. So again, really nice and important result. And that's the main difference between present perfect continuous and present perfect simple. So perfect continuous focuses on the duration, how long or since what time. And present perfect focuses on how many or what exactly or whether it's done or not done. So let's check the rules of present perfect or present perfect simple. Firstly, actions did happen recently and have some results now. Like, I've passed my English exam. Again, we never focus on exact time when the action happened, but we know that the action that happened in the past has some result right now. So right now I am happy, right now I have my results, right now I can apply to some university I want to enter to. Right. Also, action that happened in the past, but time isn't relevant, really not important. Like, I have met him before. The focus here on knowing this person and not on the time when we met. So you can say, oh, I've met him before. Maybe it happened multiple times. Maybe it happened like yesterday, maybe last year. Nobody cares. We only want to know that we are familiar with this person. Also, it could be some action that happened in some unfinished period of time. Let me explain. I have already drunk coffee today. So today is still unfinished, right? I can still drink some more coffee, and though it's not a good idea. But we still can change the number of something during this unfinished period of time. Or you can say, I have read 50 pages of some book this week. Can I read more pages till Sunday? Yes, of course. So I can increase that number, I can still change something, and that's why we use present perfect. I've been abroad 3 times, meaning throughout all my life, which is also unfinished period of time, right? And probably I will go abroad again. So we can still change the number, we can still score more results, and that's why we use present perfect. And here are some time markers that we typically use. Again, it's all the forms like have you ever, I have never, I have already, I've just, all the unfinished time periods like today, this month, week, year, whatever. And when we mention some time, like 4, 3 weeks, 4, 2 years, but here you have to be careful not to mix it up with present perfect continuous. We'll discuss it in a moment. So, present perfect continuous rules. Firstly, activities which started in the past, so we have the clear understanding when exactly it started and they continue up to now. Like here, we've been learning English for 3 years. So 3 years ago, I started my process of learning English and I'm still in this process. I just wanted to know like how long it already took me since the beginning. Or it can be some action from the recent past, like недавнього минулого, which also have some results or consequences in present. So, again, not clear results, but more like side effects, побічні ефекти of some action. For example, I've been working in the garden all day. And I don't mark some results like I have planted many plants or I have cleaned the grass, but I have a side effect. I feel exhausted. It is definitely not the result I wanted to achieve, but it's some side effect I have. And the time markers of present perfect continuous are these. Since, when we mention some point in the past, like he's been working here since з 2019, since 2019. Or for, when we mention some duration, some period of time. He's been working here for протягом 3 years. Okay, so now let's check the main differences. We use present perfect continuous to focus on the activity itself, and especially answering the question, how long? So look at this woman. What does she look like? To me, she looks a bit tired. We can say she has been cooking all day, because looking at her, we can understand that, yeah, like it took her some time to do that. So again, busy and tired are not the results, it's side effects. That's why we need present perfect continuous. Good. And we use present simple to focus on the result. So if she has been cooking all day long, probably we have some results like food prepared. Oh, so many synonyms. Thank you. So we can say that she has cooked, приготувала, a delicious dinner. Results that we can see right now and we can eat right now. Or we have tasted this dish many times. Again, some result like I know how this dish tastes like. So now the formulas again of present perfect and present perfect continuous. Here I would focus only on one thing. Pay attention that we can sometimes use them vice versa. For example, I can say she has been living continuous in this house for 5 years. But also I can say she has lived here for 5 years, marking the time as a result, like вона прожила в цьому будинку вже 5 років. Or she has worked for this company for 4 years. Вона пропрацювала, like a result for this company, in present perfect. And we never use the words like know, understand, like, and so on in continuous, even when we mention some duration. Like, I've known him, not I have been knowing, because we cannot use know in continuous. I've known him for many years. Я знаю його. Just because ing doesn't work there. All right. So then, here, I've got the list of irregular verbs that you might need for revision as you prepare for the exam. You can also see the link in the comments. It is pinned with the irregular verbs, or you can scan the QR code, which you can see now on the screen, to check the big, scary list of irregulars. And we keep moving. We have just a few things left. So let's check whether we got the idea. So we have two sentences, one verb. You should put it in two different forms. One is simple, another is continuous. So let's try. He, some form of drive, since yesterday evening. Just decide, is it some result or is it some duration? Okay, we have some really fast people here. Okay, the answer is absolutely right. So you should say, he has been driving. Він їде since yesterday evening. Good. Okay, and number two. Driving, not driven, because driven, it's like you always live. So do not use third form instead of ing when it's continuous. And he has driven. Він проїхав. So pay attention. Він їде since yesterday. І він проїхав 500 kilometers. Even in Ukrainian, you can translate it differently. What about read? She has read 200 pages, result that can be measured. And number two, she has been reading for 2 days. Вона читає, like in present, for 2 days. But we have some knowledge when it started in the past. And she has read, вона прочитала, for this moment, 200 pages. Okay. They have been playing, грають, for 20 minutes. And they have scored or have played probably 2 goals. All right, all is good. I think you feel the difference. And now we do one last task for today. It's about use of English. So, as we practiced a lot of grammar, use of English is meant to check your knowledge of grammar. Here are the tips. So, first of all, you should use both present perfect simple and continuous with words as live, work, study, and so on. No difference in meaning. So you can say he's worked in this company for 5 years or he's been working. It's all the same. Now tell me please, is it correct to say I've been knowing him for all my life? No, we cannot. It's incorrect. Because it's a state verb, so we should say I've known him. All right, what about this one? I've been cutting my finger. It hurts. So guys, when you replace ing, коли ми прибираємо ing, нам не потрібно been. I have known. You put to know in the third form. Okay, it's also incorrect. Я не різала мій палець, я порізала. So it's short, one-time action. Only present perfect simple is applicable there. As well as with such words as drop, like впустити, break, зламати, switch, вимкнути, and so on and so on. So we end in like 1 or 2 minutes. I will keep you a bit longer if you don't like, if you don't mind, or if you don't like as well. So we have to correct the mistakes. First, is already here. What about number 2? I haven't visited my grandmother since a long time. What do you think? What is wrong? So I haven't visited my grandmother since a long time. What is wrong here? What seems like a mistake? I haven't visited. Я не відвідував. It could be like a negative result, so it might be present perfect. Since a long time. З довгих часів, з довгого часу. For a long time, протягом довгого часу. So it's not since, it's for when we have some duration. Since last autumn, but for 3 months. Okay, number 3. My brother always liked strawberry ice cream. Likes, and even better, has always liked. So we can say my brother likes, like a general fact, present simple, or has always liked, завжди любив, but my brother is alive. So I would use present perfect instead of past simple here. Okay, number 4. Dave and Caroline are married for 5 years. Have been married. They are married right now. No focus on how long. But if you mention the duration, 4 or 5 years, it's have been married. Number 5. How many times have you been running a marathon? Have you run even, the third form, thank you. Have you run marathon? So we have result like 3 times, 4 times, and so on. Run, ran, run. We come back to the first form when it's third. Number 6. She's had these skis for last winter. Since last winter, з минулої зими. Very good. And the last one, how long are you sitting here? How long have you been sitting here? You are sitting. That's only thing I know when I look at you right now. But I want to ask about duration. How long have you been sitting here? Yeah? Good. All right. So I think it's time to finish. Please don't feel too sleepy. I hope I didn't overwhelm you with some rules, but present tenses need to be revised. So if you need, you can check this webinar one more time. You can practice some tricky moments. In the slides, there will be one more task added. So when you get the presentation, there will be one more slide with the answers. You can check it as well and try yourself there. Thank you for participation. See you next week. If any questions, you can add them in the comments. So sorry for keeping you longer. Bye-bye.